Bear with me while I set everything up. Let's see what happens here. I need to get... We'll see the chat though. Anyway, we need a few more minutes for people to log on and come see and join us here. I don't want to start too early. Videos. I am doing my best to monitor the chat while on here. So please feel free to type in your questions. That's not quite what we wanted. This one. One watching. Okay, I'm still getting set up. Please bear with me. I need to get the maps and some tabs and whatnot all squared away here. Again, I am watching the chat to the best of my ability here. And let's see if anybody else joins in. Okay, we have chat. The person who's watching, can you tell me if there is audio working? Let's see here, 2 people still climbing. So just gonna wait a few more minutes. Bear with me, please. If you have any generic questions or topics you'd like to try and cover in this, please put them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. Oops, there we go. And then here. Okay, yep, the number's climbing, so we get a few more people coming in. Yeah, I really need a haircut. At some point, they'll open up the hair salon so I can go get one. So the main premise of the topics are going to be the difference between trails, OHV trails, and roads. What are you allowed to be on? What are you not allowed to be on? Also, recently, we just got back last night from 1 week up at Oak Knoll in the Mendocino National Forest, Dispersed Camping. And the rangers knew we were there. There's no issue, no problems. So I thought I'd share a few of those concepts, where we went, not concepts, but where we went, what we saw, because some of the stuff was completely new to me, but amazing, and I would love to share it with all of you. So I have a list of notes, but I'm not the best at organizing this stuff, so I'm just going to go through them one at a time, and let's see what happens here. So the difference, they've closed all the campgrounds. They've closed all the day use areas. So let's say one example most people don't think of is the shooting range at Lake Pillsbury. That is kind of a day use area, so they've closed that. Picnic areas, all campgrounds, developed or undeveloped, are off limits. So you're basically limited to dispersed camping, which to me, fine. That's what I want anyway, so not a problem. But then more recently, they closed all the OHV trails because they found that on Easter weekend, everybody thought, well, I'm sick of being stuck at home, so I'm getting out of here. So they all went up to all the OHV trails. I have a relative that was at Indian Valley Reservoir, and he said there were hundreds of people there all over the place. And well, if you've got that many people, it's kind of hard to socially distance. So they shut it all down. Right now, the entire Indian Valley Reservoir area is closed, period. You can't even drive in there, whether it's a car or a motorcycle. It doesn't matter. You can't go in. It's closed. Whereas the Mendocino National Forest has just closed the OHV trails. So this is, I've done a segment before on maps. They're kind of handy. For one, they never run out of batteries, but for two, because I do ride OHV, I have these. I have several of these OHV maps, and with that I was able to determine some differentiation between OHV trails and regular trails. Regular trails being that we could take a passenger car on, a Jeep, or a truck. Unbeknownst to me, which makes sense once I looked at the map, the M1, see if I can show the screen here, screen share. Here, can I do share and then do maps? So right here, this is above Lake Pillsbury. So that's Lake Pillsbury. Right here, if you're familiar with going up Whole Mountain, this section right in here, this is where you enter the game refuge, right in through here. This is where you continue on up Whole Mountain, the M1, M6. So where they change right here, from here all the way up past the top of Whole Mountain to somewhere in here, which I'd have to look at the map to find the exact spot on the screen, is off limits. It's technically an OHV trail. You can't go up Whole Mountain right now. So a lot of people are thinking, well, Lake Pillsbury's close, I'll just go there to get away. Well, that's not going to work so well. However, with that said, there is the M6. Where's that intersection I was just at? I think that's it, right in here somewhere, Whole Mountain Road. So with that said, the M6 into the game refuge is not an OHV trail, so you can go in there. We do have a couple of videos up on this same channel of some camp spots that are actually up next to the Eel River. Excellent camping. I would highly recommend checking those out. Let's see, there's two of them where basically it gets really clear. We go where it gets really close to the Eel River. There's some great places right in through here. And these are not OHV trails, so you're allowed to be on there. Now, with that said, you're allowed to be on there. There's within the guidelines for this shelter in place is this essential travel. That's the one thing that if an officer of the law wanted to nail you or give you flack or write you up, that's the one they can get you on. Is that considered essential travel? However, after reading through some of Sonoma County's post of the shelter in place mandate, I came across a few of these, and I'm not a lawyer, I'm not an attorney, I'm not law enforcement, so I don't know how all these would hold up. But these are the ones that if I had to fall back on, I would. So we're looking at 13 II. Within that, it talks about obtaining fresh meats and fish. Well, yeah, yesterday I was up fishing. I was obtaining fresh fish, okay? Again, I'm not a lawyer. I'm just reading into what this is. And it doesn't define if you have to be licensed or have some sort of permit to do so. So without having the definitions of what it takes to be out catching that stuff, I see that as a loophole. Again, I'm not a lawyer, though. Now, if we go down to section 3, they talk about hygiene requirements is defined in the sections such as, by way of example, and without limitation, walking, hiking, biking, or running. Well, I'm not much of a runner. I used to bike. I personally would rather roll the throttle than ride a bicycle. But walking and hiking, when I'm out in the forest, I'm doing plenty of hiking. It's also, as far as I'm concerned, it's medicine. It does definitely lower my anxiety. I get all cooped up in the house and I don't like it. So to me, it's medicine. Let's see if we can go back here. Go back here. So the one they're going to get you on, if they're going to get you, is the essential travel. With that said, the last couple times I've been out, I've only stopped at the gas station right by my house. I've eaten food from home. We go grocery shopping as little as possible. And I don't stop anywhere along the way. The thumbnail for this video here that I posted earlier saying I was going to be doing this live stream, it said due to shelter in place order, pull that up, not local, not essential, not welcome, and a huge sign right in Coblo as you enter through heading north on 162. I get it. I understand. It's a small town. They're trying to avoid, people coming from the city where there is a higher, Solano County, where there's a higher count of COVID. Okay, I understand. I didn't stop. When we went out, we brought enough gasoline, diesel, food, and water that we could just, from home, just keep going all the way there. The only time we went out to travel was to go on the dirt roads and explore, and then head back home. Now, we were out for a week. I think the second day we were at Oak Knoll. We have a video called Big Dove on this channel. You can check it out. It's a great spot. It's huge. It's got a cool little pond. It's very centrally located to a whole lot of different trails. Forgot where I was going with that. But anyway, we stayed there and we just kept going. The only time, so we heard a car second day, never even saw it. We went for a drive Saturday, so we left Wednesday. So 3 or 4 days later, we saw 2 guys on plated bikes. So plated meaning they're not OHV. They're allowed to be out there riding around. It counts as similar to a truck or a car or what have you. Let's see. Sunday, we saw evidence of a vehicle that just passed. Huge dust cloud, but never actually saw any vehicles. So I don't know. Maybe it was Bigfoot running really fast. I don't know. Point being, there really isn't, you don't see many tracks. Even FH7 had very, very few tracks on it. There's no one out. And I think that OHV closure makes everybody think that it's basically just closed, flat closed. The forest is not flat closed. There are barricades made out of 4-inch round green pressure treated posts with signs posted saying no entry and no staying there. That is one of the things. If you look under the COVID closure, it says that you can't even enter a day use area or a campground. So you can't even walk through it. The times that we've been near one, we found a game trail or a trailhead and walked around it. Trailheads are perfect for that. You just walk around and not have to go through, didn't move any signs, none of that. And the signs are pretty obvious. They stand about 4 feet tall and they cover the width of the road, so about 8 feet. Let's see what else is on my notes. So we talked about campgrounds and day use areas are off limits. If it's got a vault, toilet, running water, campsites that are paved or non-paved, so like Wells Cabin, all those places, they're off limits right now. But dispersed camping is still okay. Dispersed camping means if you were driving along the road and you find a little turnoff, you take that turnoff and it leads you to a clearing. It's flat, looks pretty, has a fire ring, whether it has a bench or not, but it's someone stayed there before. You are allowed to go there and stay there. That's called dispersed camping. I have another video that covers that. Sorry, socially distracted. So going over my notes things, but I wanted to make sure I sort of got these in somewhat of an order. So no stopping once you leave town. That's one of the critical ones. Again, if I have to, I'm going to bring extra fuel cans, extra food, extra water, and not stop along the way. And then I have some, I don't want to call it an excuse, but if I'm out for the essential travel to go get to a place, that is how I'm going to do it. Let's see here. So as I mentioned, we were staying up on, let's see if we can share this next one. Stop screen share. So does that mean if I open, nope. Let's see here. As I mentioned, we were up near Oak Knoll. Is this the one I want? Yeah, dead end. So from Oak Knoll, we decided to go. Is this actually changing, though, is my question. I am still very new at this live stream thing, so please bear with me. And if you have a comment on something I'm missing or doing wrong and it's not working, please say something. Let's see here. I don't see it popping up, so stop screen, share screen. We want to go application, and we want this one. I think it's that one. Dead end. So we went up FH7. Let me pause this real quick. We went up FH7 or down to FH7 to M4 to go try to make it to Anthony Peak, and we got, or actually, correction, I got my videos mixed up. This video here, we're heading up FH7 to see the snow level. How close can we get to Plesket Meadows? And driving along, some of you might recognize some of this area. And I'll try and fast forward a little bit because I don't want this to go on for 4 hours. Then we started to hit some snow, and it was quick. It was abrupt. All of a sudden, there's nothing there, and then all of a sudden, there's a whole lot there. This part was pretty easy to pass. As you can see, we're making it. But then we get a little further and it just gets way too deep. And this stuff is, the truck wasn't really crushing the snow. Walking on it, it was really, really icy. This truck is not well equipped for off-road. It's got highway terrain tires and no winch. So recovery is not an easy option because we have no mechanical means. Now this isn't so bad in here. Pause this, look around the camera. Up in here, it gets to be at least 12 inches deep. And from here, I think we still had another 3 to 4 miles to go. So at that point, we called it and said, well, I guess we're not going to be going that way. It doesn't look like it actually shared the video when I was doing that. I don't understand why. Stop screen sharing. So we won't do that again. Okay, so some of the trails we went on, though, that were a lot of fun. Let's see if we can share. Let's try this again. Applications, we're gonna go here, maps. So before I leave this spot, this one was a lot of fun. This was a cool little spot we ran into. Oops, click the mouse. That we ran into that was pretty cool. So 22N06, and then on here it says 24N02, but on the Forest Service map, which we have, it actually calls it, I wish it showed both. I had all this stuff circled, but now I have so many circles on here, it's almost impossible to keep track of them all. And then the pressure of trying to keep up on everything here. Oh, here it is. 22N21. So my Forest Service map says 22N21. This says 24N02 on Google Earth. But right here, right where N06 and N02 meet up, right in here is a cool little spot we found. There's actually two. There was a guy camping with a fifth wheel right here, and we found another spot right here. And this Kildry Creek had plenty of water flowing through it. It sounded really pretty. I liked it a lot. So we did mark it on the GPS. So before I zoom out, I wanted to show you that one. We're going to switch views here because what we basically did. So we ended up doing, what was it? I think it was Tuesday. We went up here to this intersection of FH7, M4, and then 22, and I've seen so many N roads in the last few days, I can't keep track. 22N21, according to the Forest Service map. And we took it in through here. All the way along in through here to back to where it joined into FH7. The road was actually extremely smooth. I was shocked. And then just today, as I was looking at the map, let's see here. I'm not sure if it'll actually show you. Well, anyway, I'm looking at the map. This map right here. This map we bought at the Forest Service. Can't recommend it highly enough. Absolutely awesome map. Must have. I didn't know it, but the larger bold-faced N-roads, so like 22N11, or no, let's do that one I was just on. 22N21, I think is what I said it was. 22N21 is in bold letters. That means that it's actually, what do they call it defined on here? Secondary route suitable for passenger cars. So if that gives you any idea how smooth it was that smooth. We could have driven really fast, but then we would have missed everything, and that wouldn't have been any fun. But what we found out was that when we went on that route, it actually allowed us to get around that snowy patch, basically somewhere along in here, covered in snow. You're not going to make it through unless you're going to, you know, work at it, drag your vehicle through or shovel your way through. So that was awesome. We were actually able to double back, get up in and check this area out without having to worry about getting stuck in the snow. So then there's this 22N11, which is on the opposite side of FH7. You can pick it up right near the same intersection as the M4 and 22N21. Drop down as 22. Let's see, what was 22N11? There it is, 22N11. You can follow this road, and this one is not boldface. This one is very bumpy. We made it in our truck, which is completely stock, nothing fancy. It is four-wheel drive. And we were able to make it, again, although we didn't know it until this trip here, but it doubles back into FH7, and we were able to bypass the snowy area. So right now, if you wanted to get past the top up in here where there's snow, you could take either one of these two routes, the 22N11 or 22N21. If you want to drive a little faster, definitely go this route. It is much faster. But the thing I'd say about the 22N11 is on your way through here, it may be slower, but you have Keller Lake. Let's see if we can switch over. This view does not do it justice. This looks terrible. If my screen sharing was working better and I understood it better, I would show you some of the images I have. I do have a video up on YouTube that will show you this area, but the colors of algae are pretty spectacular. There's a huge rock formation right up in here, and I'm no geologist or scientist, but we were talking about it yesterday that maybe the minerals that run off of this help with the algae, because there's so many different varieties of algae out there that's really pretty cool. It's something I had never seen before. There are some trout in there. They're I hate to say this, brown trout, but they have like an orange fin. They're not real long, and there's not very many of them in there. I think the most I've ever seen at one time was a dozen. So I wouldn't fish there because for one, I don't know, two reasons. One, I don't know if it's legal, and two, I'd feel guilty because I'd be taking however many of very few. But Keller Lake is awesome. The only hard part about it is finding the turn. So you got to drive real slow. We actually, the first time we were looking for it, couldn't find it. We ended up parking over here and flying the drone and finding it. And then go, oh, okay, well, it's over there, so we'll go this way. But there is a trail. It's not that hard to find. You can see it through the trees right here. So going that route, that's one reason why it's nice. There's another spot which I can't find on here. I spent quite a while looking. I do have a video up, though, of Epic Vista. It's right somewhere between here and here. There's a turnoff that goes, it's not this one, it's way too long. And it's not this one because it's fairly well hidden. But at any rate, it overlooks all of this valley right in through here. So it is very much worth stopping for because it's a huge view, huge view. So it's kind of this give and take. What do you want? Do you want slower but prettier? Because there's also a really nice, this meadow right in here, really cool. And there's always deer out in here. Let's see, give it maybe another 3 weeks. This will all be solid green with some really awesome looking plants. So do you want slower with a prettier look, or do you want to go faster and just get there and, you know, get to the other side, or you know, bypass all this snow? The one thing that we noticed a lot of was both sides, a lot of deer, a whole lot of deer. I didn't see any bucks, but a lot of deer. Quite a few quail. The cubbies are really small, though, generally 2, 3, maybe 4. But there were quite a number of both quail and deer. Where we were staying, let's see if we can find it again. M4 Mendocino Pass Road. So we were actually staying right here. So if you zoom out, so M4, 22, and again, it differs from the map I have. It's kind of strange because it's from the Forest Service, but it's about a half mile up. Right here is an easy distinguishable turn. We do have a video, 2 videos up of this location. This is a seasonal pond right here. Really cool place to stay. there's lots of open room. There's a neat fire pit over in here, but we had someone camping here. So we were camping over here, and someone camped over here. So we were able to stay far away from each other and not be right on top of each other, had our own cooking areas, and stayed on opposite ends of the fire during the night. So when we were out and about, though, later we decided to go take, so I got the whole list here. I don't know if we're actually going to find them, but I'll do my best. So we went up the M4 and branched off onto 23N02. So right in here, we branched off the M4, went up and around and through here. And there's no snow in here right now. The road is, these are great. We could go back there in our Subaru, and it's also stocked with highway terrain tires. And you could take all of these trails we went on. We went all the way up and through there, 23N02 to 23N22. See if I can find this, follow along the route on the screen so you can actually see it. Well, maybe we won't do that. Basically, we did this huge loop, came back down and around. You know, this is not as easy as I thought it was going to be, and I practiced and tried. But we came back on the M4. I don't know if it's even going to show up on this map here. Best laid plans. Let's see here. No video, dude. What's with that sign? What sign, Muttless? What sign are you talking about? No video. It's coming through on this end. I'm not sure what I'm missing. Oh, when I was doing the screen share, yeah, I can understand that wasn't working, and that's why I'm reluctant to share even more stuff. But at any rate, we did 23N02, 23N22, back onto the M4, went up to Sugar Spring Camp. That's a spot. I also have a video up. It's 2 campsites with a vault toilet with an epic view. It's really cool. So you go there with your buddy, and you got the whole campground to yourself. As far as I know, it's not. It's a non-fee campground. From there, we headed back on the 23N25 over to Side Rod Camp. That was really cool. I'd never even heard of the place, but it's one big campsite. It's got a spring-fed pond, park bench or a picnic bench, and a fire ring, and it's a little bit up off the road. But the nice part is it's in a section of road that not a lot of people are going to be on. So you might be 150 feet from the road, but not a lot of people are even going to be. Not a lot of people are going to be passing by, especially right now. No one's out in the woods. Again, everybody thinks that because of the OHV closure means that everything's closed. Just can't go out there. Be careful, because some of the trails you might think are okay are not okay. But again, go to the Forest Service and pick yourself up some maps. They have a whole lot of maps. They don't hide this information from anybody. Somewhere I even have some paper, like newspaper style maps that show even more of the OHV area. Again, this one, indispensable from the Forest Service. Now, granted, it doesn't cross-reference real well with Google, as I'm discovering. So from Side Rod Camp, we kept heading up. So 23N26, 23N25, 23N04, 23N50, and back to the M4. Amazing adventure. It was roughly 60 miles. It took us, I think it was, forgive me, I could totally be wrong. It was 6 or 7 hours to do the trip. Of course, we stopped every point we wanted to and took a look at the views. We walked around Wells' cabin that was covered in snow. There's no way you're driving in there at all right now. Anywhere that looked interesting, we just stopped. Each person or each household was in their own car, so we could socially distance and not have to worry about cross-contamination. But the other thing I noticed about going that I'd never seen before was when we were up, I think I'm pretty sure this is it in through here. We actually, between the 3 vehicles, saw 4 bear Usually only see one bear every third or fourth trip. We saw two at one point in two vehicles, and then the vehicle in the lead saw another couple of bears. So that was pretty awesome. I don't know what's different about this year. Maybe it's the lack of people being in the woods that brings out more animals. But again, the number of deer through the roof. Quail, never seen that many in a single trip in my life. Squirrels, chipmunks, they're all out. So I don't know if it's just a very good year as far as food, or if it's just because no one's around that these animals are out. But definitely saw the most amount up in the north of FH7. Lots and lots and lots. Let's see what else is on the list. So another thing I've said this before about the paper maps, they don't run out of batteries. A couple times I did have to change the batteries in my GPS. Fortunately, I carried a ton of batteries on this trip, so it wasn't an issue. But the paper maps are very handy. Also, I'll be putting out a video on two-way radios. This time we brought out some that are ham radios. I'm not ham licensed, so I did turn the power down so that I don't get in trouble for over broadcasting. But I brought short antennas and long antennas. Was able to pick up the NOAA weather stations. The Forest Service frequency to listen to their. Let's see. If you look up the Forest Service frequencies, it's admin, I believe. I ended up taking a note. That's the one where you'll hear the rangers. Like I heard them calling out, "Hey, I found a vehicle on the side of the road," and they ran the plate number. I was able to listen to them on that. But also the thing that I've learned that I've always bought these like Cabela style cheap radios. They don't transmit all that far. These things go a long way, and you can also use them as a police scanner or CAL FIRE scanner. There was one time we woke up and it turned out to be the campfire. We woke up to smoke everywhere. We were on Whole Mountain, and we had no idea if the smoke or if the fire was right on top of us or far away. So you'll be seeing a video of that coming up pretty soon. Again, though, I wanted to share that if you are thinking of going up into FH7 area, which I have several videos of, now's a great time, but I would wait still like 2 or 3 more weeks because this section in here is closed from snow, but also a lot of the plants are just starting to sprout. Let's see, what's up with the not welcome sign? Not welcome. Oh, the thumbnail. That's a sign that you see as you going north through Covelo. I think it's north. Anyway, you're on 162, haven't hit AFH7 yet, and you're coming from the 101 going into Covelo. That sign is what greets you. Granted, we used a not a telephoto lens, but a zoom lens to get that shot so it's in nice and tight, and then I crop it a little bit more. But it's pretty obvious they don't want you running around in town. On one of my outings, I think it's been about 2.5 weeks, we ran into we were in the middle of nowhere. Let's see if I have what section of road was that? That was on the M1. We took the M1 up towards Little Doe. Couldn't make it to Little Doe because it was closed. So we were on the 23N75 near Hellhole Trail. And we were moving a tree with the winch out of the road. And you can show that. I don't care. I know it's at the same time though, Muttless, it's it's a small little town, and I kind of empathize why I wouldn't intimidate people. But anyway, back to the story. We were moving a tree out of 23N75, and somebody rolled up in a Toyota. And of course, in the back of the pack is our Subaru, which looks clean and nice and doesn't look like, it's like more like a city car than a off-road vehicle. Oh, when were you at Little Doe? We were there a little while ago and walked around it to go to Howard Lake and try to bass fish, but we were there for like 5 hours and a lot of fishing and no catching. Anyway, he wasn't very friendly. He was like, "What are you guys doing out here? You're supposed to be socially distancing and sheltering in place." And well, we had checked the regulations on the Mendocino National Forest, and we were allowed to be out. It didn't say you couldn't be in there. At that point, they hadn't even issued the no OHV or trail closures for the OHV. So we stood our ground. We were still polite and respectful, but he wasn't happy, and he lived in Covelo. They wanted to keep people out, and again, I understand and respect that, but he could have backed up and waited for us to move. We told him what we were doing. We were clearing the road out of the way. It turned out he was there to gather firewood, so in fact, we were doing him a favor because he needed to get past that anyway. The next day after I met you. Oh, okay, all right. Oh, okay. Making connections. A little slow here. Little Doe's a nice place, but if you're on the M1, I know it's open now because I was there. Check out where M1 meets Rattlesnake Creek. Near, if you look on the Forest Service map, there's a trailhead called Foster Glade, right at Rattlesnake Creek, right past it on the M1. Epic spot. End of summer, just fabulous swimming right there. I have a video up. Yeah, okay. Hi, Scott. Now I've really made the connection. Rattlesnake Creek has epic swimming. Go basically right before deer season, because deer season, it's going to be packed. You're gonna have trouble finding the spot. But go there on like Thursday, so you can get the spot, because it's a pretty popular little spot. And the swimming down in there, the water carves through the rocks. The rocks in a lot of places are really smooth. The water's flowing enough to keep the algae at bay. It's crystal clear. Even somebody like myself who's a water Nancy and hates cold water, oh yeah, that is one of my favorite places to go during the summertime. Still currently though, as far as I'm concerned, let's move some stuff around on the map. See if we can find satellite view. Here we go. Still my, okay, so I'll zoom out from here. This is still my Scott. Right here, still working. Hey Dylan, how's it going? Guys, don't forget, a thumbs up is tremendous. It helps me a lot. A comment within the comments within the chat is important, but comments afterwards within the video itself helps me out tremendously. I don't get paid for doing this. I'm just doing it because I love to share this information. As I travel, I find out a lot of people don't really know where to go, where they can go, or how to get there, or what kind of vehicle. And so that's part of what I'm trying to do. So Scott, I was telling you about this place. My new favorite place to go camping. So right here, there's a signpost that says Road 307 for some random reason, but you can only see it when you're driving this direction. If you're driving this way, you see the back of the sign. So if you're going this way, it's a green sign that says 307 right here. You take this right here. There's a nasty rut right here, but you can make it. I've made it in my Subaru, no problem. Excuse me. I know that's not sanitary, but I'm no one around. Go up into here. I have a video where I've camped right here and flew the drone around in this area here. This is a great place because this is a ridge line and these trees block the wind. This is great right here. Go down to the end, and there's another spot down in here that is just a big turnaround and a great place to stay. But again, several of you have seen this video already, so I won't ramble on. Right here is my favorite place to camp currently as we speak, because you can see people coming in. You can hear them coming in through here, and you can definitely see them here. And you got quite a while till they get down into your camp. From there, go down, and you got spring water somewhere down in here. And once they lift this shelter in place and closing of the campgrounds and the snow melts, from there, boom, you can hit Plaskett Meadows and get some trout. In the last 2 times I've been there, I've limited out at 5 trout in 2 hours. That's pretty awesome. And it's only a 25-minute drive. So again, the premise of this video, though, is, again, about the closures and the restrictions within the Mendocino National Forest. And again, it's open. It is still completely open. If we, let's see, can we do that? Let's see here. Mendocino, National Forests. If we go here, so motorized trails closed. Now, using motorized vehicles within the Mendocino National Forest, but that's within the trails. I asked them, does that count for N roads, M roads, and FH7? And they said all trails. So what I did is I went and looked at the legends. Let's see, let's start with this one. Where is the legend for the map? There we go. So let's go back to full screen. Okay, so I don't know if this is going to show up, but I'm going to give it a try. So if you look on here, I don't know if it's going to focus. See that? Suitable for passenger cars, off-highway vehicles prohibited unless otherwise signed. There you go. So all of these roads still allowed to use. Okay, so with this map here, you can determine which ones you're okay to be on and which ones you're not allowed to be on. The other good hint was looking at one of these here. I was able to further distinguish how they mark some of their trails. On here, they're obvious. They've got them all color coded and make it very easy to see what's what. But again, I cannot state highly enough how important a map like this one here is. It's water resistant. They're also really handy, as I've mentioned before in the map video, because what if a ranger or a prevention officer shows up? They can circle stuff on your map because they know where all the cool stuff is. I've got circles all over my map. Some of them are from us discovering stuff, but some are from other people, or me running into people that want to share their experiences and favorite places to go. So again, though, safety and following. So again, this is for trail, National Forest System trail. But if you read the legend on the map, suitable for off-highway or for passenger cars, off-highway vehicles prohibited. Okay, so those aren't trails. Those are those are just roads. Or no, they also define them as multi-lane highway, improved road, improved gravel road, improved dirt road. So again, when we passed by the rangers, all they did was go hi. So if we go back here, the other closure, recreational facilities closed. So entering or using developed recreation site or a portion thereof, except for trailheads. So the way I read that, and again, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not an attorney. Oh, I got to do the screen share, don't I? I didn't do that. Dang, still learning how this works. Screen share. I want to go here, share here. Is that going to show up now? I'm waiting for it to hopefully show up. Okay, well, anyway, there we go. Okay, so if you click here, entering or using a developed recreation site for a portion thereof, except trailheads. Okay, so just stay out of those developed spots. Walk around them. Park somewhere else. Find a game trail. Find a trailhead. Find whatever you need to stay off of it. Stay away from it. Don't go through it. So far, I've been able to find and get into a lot of places by just following a game trail down in there. That one worked just fine. And then again, we'll go back to this one. Motorized OHV trail closure. It doesn't say the Mendocino National Forest is closed. See, using a motor vehicle on any system, on any National Forest System trail. It says it right here within the Mendocino National Forest. We're not going on trails. We're going on roads. So stick to N roads, M roads, but just be careful. You might be able to go online and find these maps like this OHV map I have going here without having to get it, because I don't know if the ranger stations are open. If they are, next time they are, get every map you can, even if you have to pay for them. They're extremely handy, because then you won't get yourself in trouble. Also, note that all due respect to any law enforcement that might be watching this, they don't know everything. Sometimes they'll make you think they do, but they don't. So being able to back up what you're saying with some hard facts might be able to save you a ticket Like in this case, it says not more than $5,000 or 6 months in jail. This $3 map could save you that amount of money and could save your trip because you'd still be out there. Let's see here. How do we go back to the screen share here? Stop screen share. So does anybody have any questions as far as like the trailheads, the maps? I'm going to show you some more spots that I enjoy going camping. Some more spots of, I could try and show some more pictures and video of where we were just at. Let's see if we can make that one work. So if I go here, zoom, and then what if I pause this? Let's see if we can make this work. I'll show you, so I'm going to try and show you side rod because that one was kind of cool. Applications, G-force overlay. Let's see if that is it. I don't know if it's working. I don't see it working. I would love to show you this video because it's kind of a neat camp. Stop. Again, please throw out questions. I'm in a little lake. Can you show some sweet camp spots near water? You want to swim or fish? That would be my question. Because yes, I'll show you all day long. As some of you that know me, I'm no problem showing you. So I'll just do it real quick. Places near water. Okay, so I just said that, find my bearings here again. Here we go. My favorite place to camp is right in these trees because you can get back to FH7 and you can go, boom, Pulaski Meadows to go fishing. Now, if you want to go swimming, let's switch back over to this map. Lake Pillsbury. We're going to take the M6. If you want to go swimming, no firearms allowed in this though. So if you're into bringing a gun and target shooting, where I'm going to show you to camp, they're allowed, but you got to drive through the game refuge to get there, unless you want to go all the way around. Fish. Okay, well, let's go back to that. I can handle that. So you can always fish Lake Pillsbury. I've never fished Lake Pillsbury, but I'm sure there are lots of people that do. Let's see here, Anthony Peak. What are we looking at? I need to get my bearings again. So that sign I was talking about, that was for the thumbnail. It was right at the beginning of town. I think it was right here. Big sign right here in the bushes. Okay, so we're going to follow 162, fishing. Hammerhorn, I haven't actually fished, but I've seen people fish there. This should be Howard Lake. Okay, so I was here 2.5 weeks ago, maybe a little more. We took this side route back. Come on, which one is it? Well, whatever. Anyway, we took this side route that I'd never been on back in through here, parked near the barricades, and then found a game trail to get back up in here. Ton of bass, lots and lots of bass. There turned out to be, I think we saw 8 or 9 people in there that day. But again, it was more fishing than it was catching. But there's fish in there. I've seen them. Saw them jumping, saw them swimming. But I was, like I was just saying, Copper City, Pulaski Meadows. I was right here. The last 2 times I've been here, I have a video about Pulaski Meadows just kind of flying around. But I also have one, what bait to use, and I've limited it out the last 2 to 3 times within 2 hours. And some beautiful rainbow trout. I posted a picture yesterday on Facebook of some that I'd caught recently. And the nice part about this lake is it's spring fed year round. So this doesn't get that like pond nasty. The fish don't taste like trout farm, which to me is important because I know that's disgusting. This lower lake is very much, see if it shows up. Nowhere near as clear. So you can kind of see the algae in the plant, or not the algae, but the plant growth in here. This, at certain times, here's brown. I've heard there's bass in here, but I've never fished this one because this one is stocked right before deer season. Last year, I happened to be fishing there or arrived fishing there 2 hours after they dumped a bunch of fish in there. So they didn't bite, but the next day they sure did. And it was the weekend before rifle season. So that's an epic place for fishing. But there's also some more off the M1. Let's see. Oh, that M1 up in this area. So there's Hammerhorn Campground, which the campground is closed, but that doesn't mean you can't go somewhere else and find a trailhead that'll get you in there, because you can't go through. You just can't enter the areas. So it's no here. Let's go back to the other warning. This one. It just says entering or using a developed recreation site. So don't enter it. Sorry to, it's probably going to piss somebody off, but just don't go inside it. Let's see here. Where were we? Maps. Oh, so again, swimming, Eel River, take this M6. I have a couple of videos. There's a spot right here. You come down this trail and then back underneath these trees, big enough only for about one small family. The Eel River right here. I think it's mid-August. Nice, really nice. I have a video of that one swimming around in there. If you go up further to where I think it's Trout Creek meets it, will it show up just a speed thing? Yeah, Trout Creek right there. This is a cool spot right here. This culvert's probably 15, 20 feet tall. It's massive. Go around this turn, camp in here. We actually parked our trailer right in here where this one was. These two creeks meet. A lot of shade when it's really hot out. You can hide out in here or go into the bigger water. A lot of cool ponds. They're not ponds. They're not. It's water pools to swim in. And then somewhere, if you keep going, I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it quickly. Yeah, here it is. So right in here. This is a massive culvert also, and this was very, very wide. This is extremely steep, but it is doable even in like slip-ons. This swimming spot right here, huge, really, really big, very warm to swim in. I don't know the fishing regulations in there because technically the border for the game refuge is back where I just showed you. It's right here. Game refuge, not game refuge. Game refuge, not game refuge. But the only problem, I mean, you could get in there with firearms, but you'd have to go through this convoluted mess up somewhere in here and then come back down just to bring a gun. I would just leave it at home, to be honest. Don't get me wrong. I've got an itchy trigger finger that loves to go target shooting, but I wouldn't do it. So those are some great spots. Best ways to get in and around these areas coming from Sonoma County. Sure, no problem. Let's see here. Let's zoom out. Indian Valley. Do know Indian Valley is completely closed off right now. You can't go in there. This is all BLM land, which is not going to show up so well on the map. Can we get rid of this? There we go. Not going to show up so well, but you got two ways to get in. One is Walker Ridge Road. Does this sit here? Yes. So off the 20, you got Walker Ridge Road. You can take that and get up into Indian Valley Reservoir. There's a couple of campgrounds. I think there's one down in here. There's another one over in here somewhere. Or, if you want, you come in through Nice. Where is it? I think it's this one here. Yep, there it is. Bartlett Springs Road. Not that bad a drive. It has washed out in the past, but whatever they tell you. You can take Bartlett Springs Road up and through here and then come in through Hugh Springs and get into Indian Valley that way. There's a lot of people love to camp right in through here. Let's see if we can go back to satellite view. It's pretty flat right in through here. There's a lot, and then right in through here, there's a whole lot of shoreline you can camp on, just a whole lot. These aren't going to be quite as big. The boat ramp is right here, but over in through here, that's a long spot. All of this is very, very popular. There'll be tons of people camping there. You go there on 420, packed. There's some spots in here that are pretty good. So you've got two ways to get in there. You can get in through Bartlett Springs Road, Bartlett Springs used to be a naturally carbonated watering company back in like before the 1900s. You could get a room with a floor for an extra 50 cents a night. The original resort burned down. They rebuilt it, and then it burned down. It was rebuilt again, but more as a manufactured home with a giant gazebo that was really pretty. Had some really nice tile work. I have images somewhere. And then eventually that burned too. So I don't think they're going to rebuild it. Indian Valley has a very unique look. It's the kind of place if you want to do a lot of riding and shooting and some fishing, this is a perfect place for you. But if you want to see some epic views and do some more exploration in the forest, this is not where I'd go. A lot of this is also burned, all burned. All of this is all burned, especially down and through here, all burned. I have video of it, all burned, all burned, all burned. Some of it up in here not burnt, some of it over in here not burnt, but it's so again, it depends on what you're going for. If you're going for aesthetics, go up in the Mendocino National Forest. If you want a lot of dirt bike trails and OHV and you want some fishing and be able to shoot, BLM's got a lot of very loose regulations as compared to the National Forest. So this would be a great place to do that. Do note that until about 4 years ago, the lake was down to right about here. So all this was dry. All the fish got consolidated down into here, and the water temperature rose tremendously. So a lot of the fish died off. And then we got enough rain in one season to fill it back up. So this little tiny portion of fish that not only survived the being consolidated, and then the temperature's risen, there weren't very many left. So it's had to repopulate all of this. I've heard it's good for carp. From what I've heard, the carp like to come and spawn in through here. A lot of guys like to go collect some for fertilizer for their plants. But again, a lot of these trails are a lot of fun. There's a couple of really steep. This one here, I've got one friend or family member that can make this one, and it's pretty steep. It's go big or go home. You don't make it, and it's a nasty ride back down. There's a lot of fun OHV riding out in here. So if that's your style, perfect place to go. Any other questions, comments? Please feel free. Otherwise, I'm just kind of rambling on. I think I pretty much covered everything. I talked about how where we'd been, talked about how we'd seen a lot more animals and wildlife this year than ever before. An abundance of En-roads that we were able to do in our truck and in our car. I wonder if, while I have an extra moment, I can actually get this. Whoa, don't want that. Stop screen share. How do I get it to show the video? I don't think it is going to show the video. So I can't show you. You're just going to have to stay tuned. Please, I guess that'd be the excuse. Please subscribe at some point here to see the new. I have several videos of campgrounds coming up and some of the En-roads, M-roads, and some cool time lapses. And then I also used our anamorphic lens for the first time. So we'll see some forest flights that you wouldn't see, that no one else has put up yet. So I'll be putting those up. Wild pigs. I saw one spot on the way into the Mendocino National Forest on the FH7 that looks suspiciously like pigs, but I've only seen that once. Indian Valley Reservoir, hands down. A lot of let's go back to that map. Screen share here. Share. That's really obnoxious. This has always been very popular, Indian Valley, for pig hunting, the entire area. A lot of them got pushed over into here, though, because of the fires. But with all this new fresh growth coming back, you're going to see the number of deer and pig exponentially reproduce because there's a lot of fresh foliage for them to eat. So Hugh Springs, perfect. Personally, I prefer, because I'm coming from Sonoma County, I prefer to come in through Nice and take Bartlett Springs Road in. Going all the way over to Walker Ridge, to me, it just feels longer. I have never actually timed it. I don't know if it's longer or not, but it definitely feels longer. And I do have some videos of this area. I have one of Hugh Springs, the one of my friend doing a test ride of his buggy. That is on Walker Ridge Road, somewhere near the beginning. I don't know, a little further because we can see the lake. Somewhere over in here, you can see this just dry chaparral, a lot of bushes, not many trees. I don't know if it'll actually show you. Yeah, see, these are not really like trees like you would see over in Pillsbury. We got lots and lots of trees. So again, it's all in the style of camping that you want. But pigs, where else for pigs? Oh, if you're in Sonoma County, you could always get a, where is it? Lake Sonoma. You can get archery tags at Lake Sonoma. So you can use, and you can use crossbow. There's a ton of pigs out here in Lake Sonoma, and the tags are easy to get. They are limited on time of year versus Indian Valley Reservoir. Right now, you just can't go there because it's closed. Otherwise, pig season's year round. But Lake Sonoma, go there for, and that's, if you're in Sonoma County, it's right there. That's a good one to go to. I've seen turkey, dove, quail, all of those at Indian Valley Reservoir, which of course not having trouble finding. Because anyway, keep going with the questions. There's still 7 people watching. Closure questions, map questions. One thing I could mention real quick is 162 going up to M1. Let's see here. Where is M4? Not that far. Not sure why it shows the M1 ending right there. Okay, well, somewhere there's a gap. So somewhere in through here, I do believe I launched a video. If not, I will be soon. The road is collapsing. The last time we went over it a week and a half ago, the road had dropped about 9 inches in a week. So when we left, the Subaru bottomed out going up and over the edge. I've noticed some people have thrown trees and trees and debris to make it more of a ramp to get in there. So at some point they might close the M1 getting into Indian Dick. I hope they don't. I'm not sure where exactly that spot is, but do note that you're not going to get in there in a regular like Civic or a Corolla. Normally you could, but not right now. It's got a big mud pit, and if the video's not up, I'll get it up soon. I've been working on it for a while. I'm hoping to get into Mendocino Forest for hunting this year. Mendocino National Forest. So my comment about hunting in Mendocino National Forest is very successful. It is huge. You have a very diverse area, lots and lots of area to go to, but I would plan on trying to get away from the main thoroughfare, FH7. I've been told, and I've not seen it on my own, but it's up in here is some of the best hunting around, but extremely packed. Lots and lots of people. So again, I would plan on going far as I could away. I've been told that there's so many people up there that fish and game or fish and wildlife, and the rangers just basically almost stay away because they can't keep control of people, and it just sounds dangerous to me. I'm just not about that. So I do have a hunting license, but I haven't exercised it in a very long time. So I just tend to stay back for those few weeks and let people kind of mellow out for a while. But definitely go deep, because where there's does, there's going to be bucks. And we saw a ton of does, both up here off this M4 area and then down off 22 and 11. Lots and lots and lots of does. And again, where there's does, there's got to be bucks. And then again, the bears were up in this area, up in here, kind of near that side rod. Let's see, was it near side rod? Circles, so many circles. Yeah, side rod, between Sugar Springs and Side Rod is where we saw the bears. Kenny Camp area, that would be good for deer. I'm looking to see if there's I thought there was a ridge right in through there that had a name. Buttermilk Springs. Anyway, the 23N25 had a huge amount of wildlife, and we were there a few days ago. Not a single tire track. There were actually sections of road where there was grass in the road that it was 6 or 8 inches tall that had not been driven over yet. And to see that much grass in the road means that there is no traffic back up inside there. So yeah, hunting, this is a great area. To me, this is still my favorite section to go in is FH7 and then go both slightly south and then north. I'm still, every time I go in there, I find something new that's just awesome. Anthony Peak, fantastic. If you haven't done that, go there. You're going to want something slightly more equipped because you're going to be on the brakes quite a bit on the way down. So low gears are really handy to have. But I do have a video of that one also. That is an epic place to go. Black Butte. I don't know if that shows up on here. Black Butte. Yeah, you can actually see Plesket Meadows from up there. Well, I have a video. You can check it out. Please give me the watch time. Again, a thumbs up is tremendous. A comment after the video, within this video, helps me out tremendously. If you're not currently subscribed, please do, because I do this on my own time and my own dime. I'm not getting paid anything to sit here and help divulge this information or share this information. Look, you can still go out and play in the woods. It's open for us right now. Just make sure that we respect the social distancing, avoid stopping in other towns so that we're not contaminating everybody else in the world. I'm going to double check my list. Hi, Dylan. Well, you might have to rewind. We've been going for a little while here. How long have I been on for? Oops. 40 minutes. That's not so bad. So again, know the difference. Try to find out the difference between the trails. No, money spot. Ooh. The money. Are you, Dylan? Are you talking about the spot on Whole Mountain? Because if you are, no, it's not open. M1 through that section is considered a trail for OHV, so you can't go there. Plus, I would discourage you from going in there anyway. It's, yeah, once you've been there and seen it, go to the top, go there, go to the top, go a little past the top, and then move on. Check out some of the, here, let's screen share this again. Here, go back to maps. Go into, on the M6, satellite view. I think I've already told you this before. I don't mind saying it again or showing you by any stretch. That's what I'm here for. Where the Eel River, go in through here, because just leave the firearms at home. All of this, somewhere in here. Here's one right here. This is epic right here. Big enough for your family. You guys would be perfect. You'd fit right in here. Your wife, your kids. It's a spot big enough for a tent. The river's right here. Give it another couple of weeks or so. The river won't be flowing that fast. Wait till, like, say maybe August. You won't have to worry about your kids being washed down. It's not a problem. They can be walking around on the river with no issue. You can see them quite well. There's another spot I was just telling everybody about at Trout Creek. Dylan, the spot's right here is really awesome. Where Trout Creek meets the Eel River. I've camped right here. This is an awesome spot. You got a lot of shade during the day, but yet some open space to put vehicles. And then I was also saying that where did it go? Right here. Yep, right here. Huge swimming hole. Huge, right here. Can't see it on the map. I can send you links. Just again, just tell me what anybody who is curious about some of these spots where I might be going too fast or you might not be taking notes or whatever, feel free to message me with what a particular spot you want me to let you know where it is or what I was talking about. I can send you links with Google Maps, or I can send you a link with a video I have of that spot, because I do have videos. I don't have one yet of this spot, but I do have videos of me swimming in the Trout Creek area, an underwater video. And then I do have the introductory video on my YouTube page. Was taken right in this stretch, right in here somewhere. Oh, sorry, I'm going so fast. I'm trying to find stuff so that people don't get bored and take off on me. Here it is. So when you go on to my page and I welcome you, that video right there, it was filmed under these bushes right here. When I talk about different types of land, that was filmed right here also. I'm mostly interested in easy access since you know how I have to commute a bit. Yeah, you do have quite a commute. In reality, the M6 compared to going up the M1 to Whole Mountain, you're not looking at much more drive time. Maybe a little bit, but it's a matter of minutes, not hours. You're going to see a lot fewer people. You're not going to see the dirt bikes come running, because that campsite I showed you, there's a hill climb right there. They love to hit that, and they come right through camp. That's fine with me, but what if all kinds of hypotheticals. No one goes in the game refuge. You see probably 10% of what you would see up on the M1. You'll see far fewer on the M6. So the difference to remember is M1, and where it meets the M6, you just want to go straight. What I showed you before is it turns. You just basically want to go straight. And going to the M6, Dylan, check that out. It's just a matter of a few minutes longer, and you're going to see fewer people. You won't have the Vista, but I'm trying to think of what else would have a cool Vista without an exponentially long drive. Although, let's go like this. Although, I'm not sure how well it would work. But what if you could do, say, the 5 and hit 162, which is from here is FH7, Forest Highway. What if you were to go up to Willows, and then you could probably get in through this area, into this area, using the 5. I would try mapping that and seeing if that works. Where is, because you're still below Sacramento, if I remember. Yeah, so, I mean, in reality, I'm over here. I'm in Windsor. You're somewhere, down in Vacaville or something. You have to lower your screen and pull up the map. I can't see what you're talking about since you have glorious shots of your body. Oh, it's not sharing the screen? Share. Map. Okay, is that better? Okay, sorry about that. Thank you for letting me know, though. So, again, I don't know. I was just saying, check out the mapping yourself from the 5 going up to Willows. From Willows, taking 162 to FH7. And then you could probably get into this area. Because, again, I'm in Windsor. You're somewhere over in here. And the 5 is a hell of a lot faster speed limit than, well, not the speed limit, but the average speed of cars is a lot faster than it is on the 101. So you might be able to make it in the same amount of time. So I don't know. Again, that would be what I'd check out. Check out going up to 5 and then going in. Right now, you could make it definitely to this area and Plesket Meadows, which you're not supposed to be in. You could make it almost all the way to here before you hit snow. Give it 3 weeks, you could do the whole darn thing, and you could get into the spots that I was talking about. I think I showed you before in the last live stream I did for you. Right here, my favorite place. You get spring water. You can see people coming. All of this is going to be huge and lush and green in like 2 to 3 weeks. And then you hit FH7 and go fishing. You can go to Keller Lake, Black Butte, Anthony Peak, all within less than an hour. It's just a matter of drive time. But me, I am so over and done with Whole Mountain. Just done with it. There's only so many trails. I don't mind going there because you can ride. You can be there real quick, but I'm just over it. And I think, Dylan, the M1 for you, because you'd have to keep on going back all the way over to here, that would be quite a drive. I would not do that for a weekend-long trip, but there is some cool stuff up in here. That Rattlesnake Creek spot I was talking about, that would be an epic adventure for you for sure, because for me, I'm pushing 4 hours, and I'm on the closer end of things than you are. So again, I'm not sure what else I can do to cover stuff to Dylan. I did cover this entering and using developed recreation sites or portions thereof. Dispersed camping's okay. Stay out of any campgrounds Don't walk through there. Don't use the bathroom. Don't go to day use areas. Go around them. See if you can find a game trail or a walking trail and go around them. Also, be careful that you're not driving on these motorized trails, because even a car counts. It's a motorized vehicle on a National Forest System trail, but you can find the trails. Again, I've already said it a couple times. Maps, even if you don't ride, it's still good to have them. And then the Forest Service maps, because they do, the big one that I have does point out the difference between OHV and just general use trails. So with that said, also it's good to print these out. I did carry them. I did carry the maps in case I did get approached by law enforcement. I was able to talk with them. But again, we saw a ranger and he didn't care. He was parked on the side of the road and we just kept going. So never saw him again. Doesn't seem to have any interest as long as you made, as long as you're not in a big group, as long as you're maintaining a social distancing. And if you're within the same household, that distancing doesn't apply. Same with like in Sonoma County, we can ride in the same cars and not have to worry about wearing a mask. But if we're with members of other households, we have to be wearing a mask. Same thing applies out in the woods. So as long as you're following those rules, you're good to go. So with that said, unless you got any other questions, everybody, I'm going to close this stream down and look forward to everybody. Again, a thumbs up, huge help. A comment after the video is over within the video, a huge help. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe, because that kind of stuff can help me get my videos seen. What gets my videos seen, and the more popular they get, hey, maybe at some point I'll be able to live stream from my phone, so I could be live streaming from out in the forest a lot easier. I tried it this last time using a computer, and it was just really weird and awkward and didn't work so well. So it's also hard to carry your computer to walk around and find the best number of bars to live stream from. So please help me out. Share my stuff. If you find a spot you like, hey, I might be going here, share the video, please. Or hey, check out this guy's video of this or that or other activities, please. I need some more subscribers. So again, a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. So please, again, re-reference these. Feel free to reach out to me. I make myself readily available. Leave me a comment in any one of the videos. I'd be glad to share my email address with you so that you can reach me directly. Not a problem. I'm here to help. Again, I don't work for the Forest Service. I'm not affiliated with them in any way. I'm not an attorney, a lawyer, a cop. So definitely do your own diligence. I'm just giving you the information that I have discovered reading the websites and reading the forums and following the Mendocino County Sheriff's Department on Facebook and the Mendocino National Forest on Facebook. Tremendous help. They are out there. They're not pissed. You know, again, it's your only real issue when going out is going to be is going camping considered essential travel? Because you're allowed to hike, you're allowed to bike. It's just, is it essential? So thank you for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will be having some videos launched soon of like Side Rod Campground and some of our other adventures as soon as possible. Cheers.